Hello everyone, welcome back to the Deepak Desk, your navigator to the tech world. In today's video, we are going to explore one of the most important parts of Scratch, the motion blocks. These blocks make your sprites move, turn, glide, and even control their exact positions. By the end of this video, you will know how to use every motion block to create interactive animation and games. And let's move to the Scratch editor.
Hello friends, today we are going to see some fundamental blocks of Scratch editor. As you can see, we have already discussed many times that there are various categories of blocks available for us. We can use them in our programming. So today what we are going to do is we will explore all these categories of blocks and we will see what each and every block help it will do and it will help us in programming, how we can use them and what effects they give in our logic and development of various apps and games. The first category of blocks that we will discuss today are the motion blocks, the motion category. As you can see, there are a number of options we have here. So let's try to understand each and every block. First one is move block. You can just drag it here and take it into the execution area or the blocks area, programming area. You can say it a number of things. So move block, it will move our sprite to 10 steps. Right. Now let us understand first of all what this entire stage area is. As you can see, this is the stage area where our entire uh, programming or game or whatever app we develop, whatever project we do, it will perform here. So this is the basic stage area. So now let's first try to understand that how this stage area is organized. For that, let's take help of our backdrop. Let's select this XY grid. So now you can see our entire stage is divided into this various four quadrants as we have normally seen mathematics. There are two axes, x and y. So you can map this entire stage with x and y axis. This one is the origin here. This is the origin. This particular center of this entire stage is point 0, 0. This is the positive x-axis. This side, left side, it is negative. This upside is the positive y-axis and at the bottom it is negative y-axis. So using coordinates of this x and y-axis, you can use any position or a point in this entire stage area. Now let's try to move our sprite by 10 blocks. First of all, we need to understand that as you can see, this is an entire picture. So which exact point will move to 10 steps? For that, we need to look at the sprite costume. Now, if I select all, now you can see there is a center of image. As you can see, that you might have seen. You see the middle black image that represents the center of this entire sprite. Let me just put it at the tip of the tail now. Now you, as you can see, this particular point will decide how much the sprite moves. Let's see it in the code. I want to reset the position of this particular sprite to 0, 0. So all I can write is here 0, 0. And now, as you can see, the tip of the tail that we saw here, right? It is actually at the point 0, 0. So by this logic, you can decide what type of images or sprites you use and how you can move them in this stage area. Another trick I want to tell you is that you can directly execute any of the block here. You just need to click it. So if you click it once, this block particular will be executed without using this event, flag event or sprite event. You can directly just click this particular block and it will move or it will get executed. As you can see here, our cat is moving 10 steps 10 steps every time I click here. So this particular block is used to move the sprite. If I write -10, then it will move to this left side. So if I increase the number of steps, it will move to 50 points or 50 pixels in left side. See, I have moved twice, that it is now -150 and again -200. So each time 50 steps it is moving left side. So this is about the move block. Next block is turn block. Clockwise direction turn. You can use this particular block to turn your sprite with amount of angle degrees that you specify here. If I click here, as you can see, the entire sprite is moving 45 degree like this. If you can negative value, you can also use that. So again, sprite is moving -45 degree. You can you can write here various sizes. So it's flipping the entire image. So you can play with this. And finally, if you want to reset it, just make it like this. So next block is turn block again, but it is counterclockwise. Similarly, as we have seen earlier, it will move the sprite in opposite direction like this. Then after we have this go to block. With go to block, you have various number of options. So by default, a random position. So if I click here or if I execute this block, the sprite will move to some random position in the stage area. As you can see, every time I click here, the cat is moving to some random place. Another one is mouse pointers. Every time I click here, the sprite will try to move to my mouse pointer. If I click here, you see this is going here. If I click um, to really see this effect, we need to use forever loop. If I keep it here and put some event, now it will what it will do is that uh, it will continuously try to move to this mouse point. When I click here, this entire block will get executed. So now it is continuously moving along this mouse. Again, you can see at the tail point that we have defined in the questions, right? This point, this particular point. This is the entire center of this image, and this point will always follow the mouse pointer, as you can see here. You can use this go to pointer like this. Next, in the motion blocks, we have go to with X and Y coordinates. If I want to move my sprite to some specific position on the stage area, I can use this. For example, I want to move the sprite here. So what I can write is 100 and 100, and I execute this. You can see the cat is here at the point 100, 100. So similarly, you can write any position here, and accordingly the sprite will move here as per the coordinates that you have written here. See, another thing I want to tell you is that whenever you move this particular sprite, its X and Y positions automatically gets updated here, right? The sprite panel will show you the current position of this particular sprite. Here also, when you move the sprite, its current position is reflected here. So that is helpful when you want to know the current position of the sprite. Next is glide block. Now what glide block will do is that by default we can see here the argument of this block is 1 or some number. It will within 1 second it will move to some random position on this stage area. So let's execute it. So as you can see, every time I click here, it will move slowly, gradually glide to some random position. See, another option is mouse pointer. So whenever I try this, it will try to move towards my mouse pointer. Again, if you want to fully see this effect, we need to use such kind of an arrangement. See, like this. In 1 second, it will try to reach mouse pointer. Now, as you can see, if this distance is far, the speed of the cat will be higher. If the distance is very small, it will move slowly. Basically, within 1 second, it will try to cover the entire distance, whatever it is. Right? So it will follow my mouse pointer in forever loop. Next block we have is glide to some specific coordinate on the stage area. I want to glide my image to, let's say, 100 into 100, 100.100 position here. I need to write those coordinates here and I click here. So the sprite will move that glide to that particular position. You can specify any coordinates that you want to glide your sprite to. Next, we have point in direction. If I want to point my cat in some particular direction, uh, for that I can use this particular block. Right now it is 90 degree because current orientation is like this. Okay, if I want to 90 degree. Now what I can do is I change the direction 45 degree and I execute. The cat will show this particular direction 45 degree. It will point toward that. Okay, for 0 it will see the upward position. So depending upon what kind of image that you are using, it can do different things. Okay, like this. Let's see another example. Let's take another sprite which we can. Okay, so this arrow, I think it will give you more idea, right? So again, point in direction. Right now it is 90 degree this direction. If I put this and execute this, you can see the position of the arrow is now upward. You can write any degree, minus 90 degree. So it will now point this particular. You can write from 0 to um, 180 or 360 degree, and negative values are also accepted here. So depending on the direction that you want to point your image or sprite, you can use them here, or you can also do it graphically. You can get a full dial here when you click. Next block we have is point towards a particular default options that we have given. Two things, mouse pointer, right? So how we can do that? If you see, let's again use the forever block. It will make it set that it will always try to point towards the mouse. You see, arrow is always pointing continuously. It will try to point towards the mouse pointer. Okay. You can use this particular thing in order to make this particular image or sprite move to any other sprite also. For example, I want to take this apple. Okay, and now here the option will be available to point this particular arrow always towards the apple. Let's see, if I move this particular apple now, the arrow will always point towards apple. See, that is about the point towards block. Next we have is change. So normally we have x and y coordinate of any sprite that we have in stage area. If we want to change the position, x position or x coordinate of that particular sprite by some amount, for example, say 10. So what happens is that the y coordinate will stay fixed. You can just move it along the x axis. For example, if I click here, it will move to right side. Every time I click here, the x position will be changed by 10. See, 114 and next it is 124. So it is like this. You can write any value, negative values also. If you write negative value, it will move towards left as you can see here. So when you want to move your sprite from left to right or right to left, this can be useful. Similarly, you have change y. When I click this, the sprite will move upward, and if you write some negative value, the sprite will move towards the bottom of the stage area. So you can use it in various games and programs to change y coordinate value of your sprite. Next we have if on edge bounce. Now normally what happens is that we have this boundary of stage. It is called edge of the stage. Whenever you move your sprite towards some direction, and if the sprite will touch this particular edge, so you can programmatically make it bounce, as you can see here. Now see, if I make it touch the edge here and click here and execute this block, it will bounce. Like it will basically flip in the opposite direction. How can I use that? Let's try to make a program in which what I do is I will just when the flag is clicked in forever loop, I will keep moving this block by 10 steps, right? And if it will touch the edge, it will just bounce back. See, this way you can make some kind of animations here by knowing that when your sprite is touching the boundary of your stage area, like this. Okay, so it works like that. Let's move on to the next block. Okay. So it is rotation style. You can set it left or right or don't rotate. So like this, if I um, make it bounce like this, you can make the rotation style don't rotate, so it will not rotate now. Let's see this is very properly. Now see, this time the direction of the arrow is not changing here, right? If I keep left and right, then direction will change. Okay. And all around it's not showing right here, but if I had some other sprite, it might have shown here. So right now just remember that with left right, the sprite will flip vertically, and with don't rotate, the sprite will stay as it is. Next, we have three variables given to us, which shows us the x, y, and direction of this particular sprite. So what we can do here is that with using these three variables, we can programmatically know that at which particular location our sprite is and in which direction it is pointing. To give you an idea, let's say I want to print these values that x position to print the x position of my sprite here. So if I execute this, as you can see, the current x position is 40 something. If I put it here around 100, and you can see it is 120. Actually, the center of this sprite is in the middle of the arrow. You can see here. If I keep it here, you'll be able to better see this. Now, you see. Now, if you see, it will show you the exit position. If I keep it here at near 100, so it's 98.52 to be precise. Similarly, you can print Y position also. Here, see, if I move it, it will show Y position like this. Also, you can see direction of your sprite. So currently it is minus 89. You can see currently it is pointing. If I change the direction, it will give me that particular direction. So this way you have seen what the motion category of blocks have for us. You have seen how to move your sprite, turn it, move it to some particular location in the stage area, how to glide it towards some point or object or some particular location. We also saw how we can change the values of x and y, how we can detect if a sprite is bouncing or it is touching the edge. So all these things give us a lot of freedom to design various games with using sprite or even perform some mathematical operations depending upon the geometry of this stage area. In the next session, I will try to explain other blocks that are given here, look, sound, events, and other blocks. For this video, that's all about the motion block. Let me know in feedback or comments what others kind of video you want to see. We will try to incorporate all the suggestions and make this kind of other videos for you. So thank you very much for watching this video.